Hello, you're on the Reddit Steady Go channel. Tonight is a special night. The last one before Halloween. A night when it's better not to look out the window or listen to the ringing coming from afar. Make yourself comfortable, turn off the lights, and listen carefully, because if you hear the ringing of a bell outside your window, it may already be too late. My name is Ben, and in case something happens, I need to write down what I saw, or at least think I saw. Whether you believe me or not is up to you. I know what I am about to describe might sound crazy. I would have said it was impossible just a while ago. I know I should have just walked away when I saw the red flags. I should have listened to my gut. Sometimes a job is not worth it, regardless of the pay. Now I fear whatever I saw last night could be looking for me this very moment. I should have left the first time I heard the bells. It started 2 weeks ago. I had lost my job and was looking for work. It had already been 2 months at that point since the factory closed, and for the first time in years, I was unemployed. When I was looking for places that were hiring online, I noticed I had received a strange email. It was a work advertisement. Now hiring security personnel for night shift at Aurora Ridge Cemetery. Call for more details. No previous security experience required. I was glad to see a potential job prospect had come to me. I never thought to look for security jobs, and definitely not at a place like a cemetery. I decided to call the number listed. The line rang for a minute until someone answered. It was a man with an odd inflection in his voice, like an accent slightly out of time. He was polite though and sounded genuinely happy someone had contacted him about the offer. "Oh, thank you for the call. My name is Mr. Penny. I'm so glad you are interested in working with us at Aurora Ridge. I would like to arrange a short meeting and introductory tour if you are still interested in the job." I was thrilled and eagerly responded, "Yes, thank you, Mr. Penny. I would love to. When can we meet?" "Well, tonight at 9:30 p.m. would work for me, if it works for you." I paused for a moment, surprised that it would be an interview the same night I had inquired, and so late in the evening, but I didn't second guess it. I agreed. Mr. Penny sounded delighted, almost like I was doing him a favor. "Oh, fantastic. Looking forward to seeing you here. Always happy to work with a new soul. Take care and see you then." He hung up, and despite how odd the arrangement was, I was happy I might have a paycheck again. I set out at 9 p.m., leaving a bit of time to get there early. Since Aurora Ridge was only a 10-minute drive from my apartment, the place seemed to be nestled out of the way, off the main road leading into town. When I first arrived, I had to double-check that I was at the right place. I kept driving further on a dirt road, practically into the forest. When I came upon the main gate, I was relieved. A tall iron fence crossed the clearing, and a sign by the gate read, "Welcome to Aurora Ridge Cemetery, where the light of lives rest eternal." The gate was locked. I waited. When I checked my phone, it was 9:40 p.m. No one had shown up. As I nervously glanced down, twilight faded, and I saw something strange. A green light in the sky, like the northern lights, but wrong. The more I stared, the more unnatural it looked. My eerie fascination was broken when I heard an engine. A large hearse pulled up, grinding painfully as it stopped. A man stepped out, tall, rail-thin, wearing a black suit and sunglasses despite the dark. He straightened his jacket, slicked back his grey hair, and smiled as he walked over with an almost theatrical stride. "Hello, Ben, was it? Pleased to meet you. I trust you found the place all right." His handshake was disturbingly tight. "Yes, thank you, sir. Though I was afraid you might not be coming, Mr. Penny chuckled. "Yes, I know. My apologies. Had to make a last-minute pickup. But the dead can wait, after all." He laughed to himself, then gestured for me to follow. We walked through the cemetery, and I was surprised how empty it looked. Barely a dozen gravestones. "You might notice the scarcity of graves here, Mr. Penny said. Our business is new, but the lot is ancient. Many of our residents have faded over the years. He pointed out the groundskeeper's cabin. Old Horace tends the grounds by day. You might see him on the way out, but never after dark. We approached a larger building up the hill, the security station, topped with a small watchtower like a lighthouse over a sea of graves. Inside, the air was dusty and still. The cabin had a single table, chair, and a footlocker. No monitors, no modern equipment, Mr. Penny smiled and motioned to the chair. Please, sit. You'll stand. Then his tone shifted. Here at Aurora Ridge, we value hard work and integrity. But we must know, are you afraid of the dead? No, I answered honestly. Good. Do you believe in ghosts? No. Excellent, he said, adjusting his sunglasses. Then perhaps you'll last longer than the others. He went on. We pay well for this position. $3,000 a week. I stared. $3,000 a week. For watching graves. Before I could ask, he extended his hand again. Hazard pay, you see. Do we have an agreement? I shook it. He smiled wider. Splendid. Now, follow me. You must learn the rules. We climbed a narrow path through the trees to a small, hidden glen, 4 graves, each with a tiny bell hanging by a string. Beyond them stood an ornate mausoleum. Mr. Penny placed a hand on my shoulder before I could cross a white line of what looked like salt. Rule number 1. Never cross the line. Never disturb the graves. He continued, each word measured. You will work from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. You do not leave before 6. If a bell rings, even once, you press the SOS button on your radio and flee to the mausoleum. You will have 3 minutes to enter, lock the door, and wait until sunrise. Do not look back. Do not watch. Do you understand? I nodded. Uneasy but desperate for work. Excellent, he said. Then your shift begins tonight. At 10 o'clock sharp, Mr. Penny handed me an old lantern and a rusted walkie-talkie. Stay near the graves, he said. And remember, if the bells ring, you run. When he left, silence fell. The kind that hums in your ears. The forest beyond the cemetery was dark as ink. Every gust of wind made the bells sway slightly, tinkling so faintly that it almost sounded like whispering. Hours passed. Nothing happened. I paced near the line of salt. Flashlight beam trembling on the names carved into the stones. Eleanor Finch, Samuel Finch, Mary Finch, Thomas Finch. A family. All the same year. I sat on the stool near the path, fighting sleep. Around 2 a.m., the air grew thick, heavy, like a pressure wave passing over me. The crickets went silent. Then I heard it, ding. One of the bells twitched, just once. My skin went cold. I stared, waiting, praying I had imagined it, ding. Again. This time louder. The second bell began to move. I grabbed the walkie-talkie. Mr. Penny? One of the bells, 2 of them are ringing. What do I static? Then a voice, faint and warped. Run. Till the mausoleum. I bolted, heart hammering. The forest felt alive, closing in as I stumbled up the hill. Behind me, the bells rang together now, slow, deliberate. When I reached the mausoleum, I slammed the door, locking it from inside. The walls were lined with dusty stone shelves. I collapsed against the cold marble, gasping for breath. Then I heard scratching. Not outside, beneath the floor. A muffled thud followed, like fists pounding from below. The bells stopped, and a voice whispered my name. I stayed until dawn, shivering and wide-eyed. When I finally stepped outside, everything was calm. The air was clean, the sun pale and normal. Mr. Penny was waiting by the graves. Ah, first night jitters, he smiled. They all ring at least once. It's a test, you see. The dead like to make sure you're listening. I wanted to quit right then, but the thought of that paycheck kept me silent. The next evening I came prepared. Coffee, a flashlight, and a sense of dread. The cemetery seemed different under the moonlight, almost breathing. At midnight, I saw movement between the graves. A figure, pale, thin, in old-fashioned clothes, stood beyond the salt line. I froze. It was a woman. Her face was blurred somehow, like static. She lifted her hand and pointed at the bells. "Stop them," she whispered. Her voice didn't echo, it just appeared inside my skull. Then she was gone. I stood rooted, every instinct screaming to run, but curiosity kept me there. The bells weren't moving, yet. I checked the graves again, running my fingers over the carved names. Under the last one, faint and almost hidden, was another line. "Beneath us sleeps the fifth." The fifth. There were only 4 graves. When I looked closer, I realized the soil between the graves had sunk slightly, like something buried deeper below. Around 2 a.m., I heard the bells again, all 4 this time, ringing fast, almost frantic. Then, silence. The ground trembled. The 5th grave, or whatever it was, began to crack open. I ran, but not to the mausoleum. This time, I ran for the gate. It was locked tight. Behind me, something heavy pulled itself from the earth. Slow, wet, deliberate. I screamed into the walkie-talkie. "Mr. Penny, something's coming out. Open the gate." His voice came calmly. "Do not leave before 6. Those are the rules." I dropped the radio and turned just in time to see a pale hand clawing from the soil. Long fingers. Grey skin. Nails black like burnt wood. I ran to the mausoleum, slammed the door again, and pressed my back to it, sobbing. The bells rang once more, louder than before, and then everything stopped. I didn't sleep that day. I didn't even go home. I sat in my car, outside the gates until dusk. When Mr. Penny arrived, I demanded answers. "What is buried here? What's in the 5th grave?" He smiled, as though amused. "Not what, Ben, who?" Aurora Ridge was built over an older cemetery, one that held things better left forgotten. The Finch family was devoted to keeping one of them asleep. I stared at him. "And the bells? Their way of warning us," he said softly. "But once they ring 4 times, the 5th wakes." He leaned closer, his sunglasses reflecting my pale face. "You did well to hide. But the ritual is undone now. The bells can't save you twice." I tried to quit, but he only laughed. "The contract was signed when you shook my hand. You'll return tonight." I drove away, heart pounding, telling myself I wouldn't go back. But when night fell, my car refused to start. The walkie-talkie on the seat crackled to life. "Ben," the voice said. "Not Mr. Penny's something older. Broken. You left the door open." Static. Then the faint sound of bells, not 4, but 5. I looked in the rearview mirror. Behind me, at the edge of the road, 4 figures stood in the fog. The Finch family. Faces pale as wax. Between them was something taller, darker, shifting like smoke. The 5th had woken.
Oh yeah, ghoul friends. That is going to wrap it up for tonight's episode. Thanks a ton for hanging out with me and letting me gnaw your ear for a bit. If you had a good time, do me a solid, smash that subscribe button, ring the little bell, and you'll never miss another creepy conversation. Stay spooky, stay awesome, and